Life is unpredictable. One moment everything seems to be falling into place, and the next you're hit with a storm that shakes you to your core. Maybe you've lost a job, faced betrayal, or encountered an obstacle so overwhelming that it feels impossible to move forward. In these moments, the mind is flooded with self-doubt, frustration, and fear. But what if you had a set of guiding principles, mantras, that could anchor you in the chaos? What if, instead of resisting hardship, you could embrace it, learn from it, and come out stronger? For thousands of years, Stoic philosophers have faced war, exile, and personal tragedies, yet they remained unshaken, not because they avoided suffering, but because they mastered the art of resilience. Today, their wisdom is more relevant than ever. In this video, we will explore 3 powerful Stoic mantras that can help you not just survive tough times, but thrive through them. These are not just words. They are mental frameworks that can reshape how you perceive adversity. If you feel lost, overwhelmed, or on the verge of giving up, this is for you. Let's dive into the first mantra that will change how you face hardship forever. Mantra 1. Amor fati. Love your fate. Introduction to Amor fati. Life is full of unexpected turns. You plan for things to go a certain way, but then something completely different happens. A relationship you thought would last forever ends in heartbreak. A job you depended on is suddenly gone. A dream you've worked toward for years slips away. In these moments, it's natural to feel lost, angry, or even betrayed by life. But what if, instead of resisting these hardships, you embraced them? Not just accepted them, but loved them? This is the essence of Amor fati. Love your fate. This Stoic principle teaches that everything in life, both the good and the bad, is meant for you. Instead of fighting reality, you embrace it fully, knowing that even suffering serves a purpose. Marcus Aurelius embodied this idea when he wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." Your challenges are fuel. Every setback, every painful moment is an opportunity to refine yourself. The key is perspective, learning to see hardship, not as a curse, but as the very thing that strengthens you. The origins of Amor fati. The concept of Amor fati is deeply rooted in Greek Stoicism, but it has influenced thinkers far beyond that. The idea is that fate is not something to be feared or avoided, but embraced. Epictetus, who was born a slave and later became one of the greatest Stoic teachers, believed that everything in life happens for a reason. He said, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish for them to happen as they do, and you will have peace." Instead of resisting the way life unfolds, surrender to it, because resistance only brings suffering. Seneca, a Roman statesman, lost vast amounts of wealth multiple times, was exiled, and ultimately forced to take his own life. Yet he accepted all of it with grace. He wrote, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher, took Amor fati to another level. He argued that not only should we accept our fate, but we should actively love it no matter how painful it is. He wrote, "My formula for greatness in a human being is Amor fati. That one wants nothing to be different. Not forward, not backward, not in all eternity." So how do you apply Amor fati in modern life? Applying Amor fati to your life. Understanding Amor fati is one thing. Living by it is another. Here's how you can start. 1. Stop wishing things were different. Most suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our resistance to them. We mentally replay mistakes, dwell on what-ifs, and resist the reality of what's happening. Instead, practice radical acceptance. When something painful happens, remind yourself, "This is part of my path." Instead of seeing obstacles as unfair, see them as necessary. Example, you lose your job unexpectedly. Instead of spiraling into despair, think, "This is an opportunity. Maybe this job was limiting me. What doors does this open?" Example, a relationship ends. Instead of feeling bitter, ask yourself, "What did this teach me? How can I grow from this?" By embracing what happens instead of wishing for a different reality, you reduce unnecessary suffering. 2. See hardships as fuel for growth. Marcus Aurelius compared difficulties to fuel for a fire. They make the flame burn even brighter. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How can I use this?" Example, you fail an important exam. Instead of seeing it as a dead end, take it as feedback. What went wrong? What can you improve? Example, you experience rejection, maybe in love, in business, or in your goals. Instead of thinking I'm not good enough, think, this is making me stronger. This is refining me. Difficult moments are training for the mind. Amor fati teaches you to welcome these moments instead of fearing them. 3. Train yourself to find gratitude in adversity. One of the most powerful ways to live amor fati is to find something to be grateful for in every situation. Even in pain, there is something to appreciate. Maybe a breakup makes you realize your worth. Maybe losing a job forces you to take a path you never considered before. Maybe failure humbles you and makes you stronger for the future. A simple practice: every time something bad happens, immediately ask yourself, what is one good thing about this? Example, you get stuck in traffic. Instead of getting angry, think, this gives me time to reflect, to listen to an audiobook, or to simply breathe. Example, you get sick. Instead of feeling miserable, think, this is a reminder to take better care of my body. Finding gratitude in every situation rewires your brain. Instead of seeing problems, you start seeing opportunities. Turning amor fati into a daily practice. Living by amor fati requires daily reminders. Here's how you can reinforce this mindset. 1 morning reflection. Each morning, remind yourself, I will embrace whatever happens today, good or bad. 2. Journaling. Write about the biggest challenge you're facing and find at least 3 reasons why it might be a blessing in disguise. 3. Stoic affirmation. Whenever something difficult happens, repeat, this is happening for me, not to me. 4. Mental reframing. The next time you catch yourself complaining, stop. Ask, how can this serve me? Final thoughts on amor fati. Life is unpredictable. Pain is inevitable. But suffering, that is a choice. Amor fati teaches you to embrace every twist and turn as part of your unique path. Instead of resisting fate, you love it, because every moment, no matter how difficult, is shaping you into the person you're meant to become. When you live by this mantra, nothing can break you. Every setback becomes a stepping stone. Every loss becomes a lesson. Every hardship becomes fuel for your fire. So the next time life throws an unexpected challenge your way, don't ask why me. Instead, smile and say, amor fati, this is mine. I will make the most of it. Mantra 2, memento mori. Remember you will die. Introduction. Facing the ultimate truth. There is one undeniable truth that we all share, one that most people avoid. Thinking about we are all going to die. No matter how much wealth, power, or success you accumulate, death is inevitable. Most people fear this idea. They push it aside, live as if they have infinite time, and avoid confronting their mortality. But the Stoics taught the opposite. They believed that constantly remembering death is the key to living fully. This idea is captured in the powerful mantra, memento mori, remember you will die. It may sound dark, but in reality, it is one of the most liberating ideas in philosophy. When you truly accept that your time is limited, you stop procrastinating, stop worrying about trivial things, and start focusing on what really matters. You stop living on autopilot and start making each moment count. This idea is not new. The greatest Stoic philosophers lived with death in mind every day, and it made them fearless. Today, we will explore why memento mori is so powerful, how it can transform your mindset, and how to integrate it into your daily life. The origins of memento mori. Memento mori has its roots in ancient Rome and Greece, where philosophers, generals, and even emperors practiced it daily. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, would remind himself every day that he could die at any moment. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Seneca, the Stoic philosopher and statesman, advised people to treat each day as if it were their last. He said, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day." In Roman times, after a great military victory, a general would have a servant whisper in his ear, "Respis poste, homine esse memento mori." Look behind you. Remember you are a man. Remember you must die. This was to remind the victorious general that no matter how powerful he seemed, he was still mortal. Even outside Stoicism, memento mori has influenced history. The medieval Christians used skulls as symbols of mortality. The samurai meditated on death every day to remove fear. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, famously said, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way. I know to avoid the trap of thinking, you have something to lose." This mindset changes everything. When you accept death, you start living with urgency, clarity, and purpose. Why remembering death makes you more alive. At first, the idea of thinking about death every day seems uncomfortable. But when you fully embrace memento mori, it gives you 3 superpowers. 1, it kills procrastination. Most people waste time. They say, "I'll do it later. I have time. I'll start tomorrow." But what if there is no tomorrow? If you knew you had only 1 year to live, how would you act differently? Memento mori removes the illusion that you have infinite time. It forces you to take action today. Example, have a dream of starting a business? Start now. Example, want to tell someone you love them? Do it now. Example, holding on to anger? Let it go now. Seneca warned us. You are living as if destined to live forever. Your own frailty never occurs to you. You don't notice how much time has passed, but squander it as though you had a full and overflowing supply. You don't have forever. Stop waiting. Start now. 2. It eliminates fear. One of the biggest fears in life is fear of failure, rejection, or judgment. But when you remember that everyone dies, these fears disappear. Think about this. In 100 years, almost every single person alive today will be gone. No one will remember your small mistakes, your failures, or your embarrassing moments. Example, afraid of taking a risk? In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Example, worried about what people think? They'll be gone too. When you accept that death is inevitable, you stop caring about meaningless opinions and start focusing on living courageously. 3, it makes you grateful for every moment. Most people take life for granted. They rush through their days, thinking there's always another one coming. But memento mori reminds you that every single day is a gift. If today were your last day, would you waste it on social media? Would you spend it arguing over things that don't matter? Would you live with regret? Instead, you would cherish every moment. You'd appreciate small things, the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a friend, the taste of a meal. You'd be present with your loved ones, knowing that time is precious. You'd stop chasing things that don't fulfill you and focus on what truly matters. This is the power of memento mori. It turns every day into something sacred. How to apply memento mori to your daily life. Now that you understand the power of memento mori, here's how to live by it every day. 1. Morning meditation on death. Start each day by reminding yourself, I could die today. This isn't about being afraid, it's about making sure you live well. Ask yourself, if today were my last day, what would I do differently? Take action based on that answer. 2. Carry a memento mori reminder. Many Stoics carried physical reminders of death like a coin or a ring with a skull. You can do the same. Keep a memento mori wallpaper on your phone. Wear a bracelet or necklace that reminds you of mortality. Write memento mori on a note and keep it in your wallet. This keeps death in your awareness and helps you stay present. 3. Nightly reflection. Before bed, reflect on your day. If today was my last day, did I live it well? Did I waste time on things that don't matter? Did I express gratitude? This practice will keep you grounded and focused on what truly matters. Final thoughts, live with urgency and purpose. Memento mori is not about fearing death. It's about making the most of life. When you embrace this Stoic mantra, you stop procrastinating. You become fearless. You cherish every single moment. So let me ask you, if today was your last day, are you proud of how you lived? If the answer is no, change something. Because one day the answer will be yes or no for the final time. Live now, live fully. Memento mori. Mantra 3. The obstacle is the way, turning challenges into strength. Introduction. What if everything standing in your way was the way? Life is full of obstacles. No matter who you are, no matter how smart, skilled, or successful, you will face difficulties. Some will be small inconveniences, like losing your phone or getting stuck in traffic. Others will be life-altering, like losing a job, failing in business, or dealing with heartbreak. Most people see obstacles as barriers, things that stop them from getting where they want to go. They complain, they give up, or they waste time feeling sorry for themselves. But the Stoics had a different approach. They believed that obstacles are not things to be avoided or feared. Instead, obstacles are the very path to success, growth, and strength. This is the essence of the powerful Stoic mantra. The obstacle is the way. The idea is simple but life-changing. Everything that blocks your path can become your path, if you change how you see it. Instead of being stopped by difficulties, You use them to grow stronger, wiser, and better. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the very thing you think is stopping you is actually leading you forward. In this script, we'll break down how this mindset works, how Stoic philosophers applied it, and how you can use it to transform obstacles into opportunities. The origins of the obstacle is the way. The idea that obstacles are opportunities comes from Greek Stoicism, but it has influenced some of history's greatest leaders, thinkers, and warriors. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, ruled during one of Rome's most difficult times, facing wars, plagues, and betrayals, but he never let obstacles break him. Instead, he used them to become a better leader. Epictetus, born a slave, had every reason to feel powerless, but he didn't see his condition as an obstacle. He saw it as training for his mind. Seneca wrote extensively about turning adversity into advantage, saying, "A good person dyes events with his own color and turns whatever happens to his own benefit." Beyond Stoicism, this idea has been embraced by Ulysses S. Grant, who used bad terrain in battle to outmaneuver enemies; Thomas Edison, who saw every failure as one step closer to success; Nelson Mandela, who turned 27 years in prison into preparation for leading a nation. So how can you apply this in your life? The three-step formula for turning obstacles into opportunities. The Stoics taught that every challenge can be broken down into three parts. 1. Perception, how you see the obstacle. Your biggest weapon against obstacles is your perspective. Most people assume that when something bad happens, they must suffer. But in reality, suffering is a choice. It depends on how you interpret the situation. Most people see obstacles like this. This is unfair. Why me? I'll never recover from this. Stoics see obstacles differently. This is an opportunity to learn. How can I turn this into something good? This is making me stronger. Example, if you lose your job, you can either complain or see it as a chance to start your own business. If a relationship ends, you can either feel broken or use the time to improve yourself. If you fail at something, you can either quit or analyze what went wrong and try again. Change how you see the obstacle, and it will change how you respond to it. 2. Action, what you do with the obstacle. Once you change how you see the obstacle, the next step is to take action. Obstacles become opportunities when you ask, how can I use this? Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, use the obstacle itself as the path forward. Example 1, J.K. Rowling. She was rejected by 12 publishers before one finally accepted Harry Potter. Instead of quitting, she used rejection as motivation to improve. Example 3, Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball team. Instead of giving up, he worked harder than ever and became one of the greatest athletes of all time. Every great success story is a story of someone who turned an obstacle into an opportunity. How can you do the same? 1. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? 2. Take action. What's the next step forward? Use the obstacle itself. How can this difficulty make me stronger? 3. Will, how you endure and overcome the obstacle. The final step is resilience, developing the mental toughness to keep going, no matter what happens. The Stoics believed that nothing can truly harm you unless you let it. No failure, rejection, or hardship can break you if you refuse to give up. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Example, Nelson Mandela. Mandela spent 27 years in prison. Most people would have given up. But he used those years to prepare himself, reading, thinking, and planning how he would unite his country. He turned the obstacle into his greatest advantage. Example, Oprah Winfrey. She was born into poverty and faced constant setbacks, but instead of feeling sorry for herself, she turned every difficulty into fuel for her rise to success. Example, whatever obstacle you're facing right now, it has the potential to make you stronger, smarter, and better. The only question is, will you let it? How to apply. The obstacle is the way in daily life. Now that you understand the philosophy, here are practical ways to live by it. 1. Reframe every obstacle immediately. The moment something bad happens, don't react emotionally. Instead ask, how can I use this? What is this teaching me? 2. Take action even if it's small. Don't get stuck feeling helpless. Take one small step forward. Momentum builds over time. 3. Develop an indestructible mindset. When you face difficulties, remind yourself, this is happening for me, not to me. Every obstacle is training for my future success. I will emerge from this stronger. Final thoughts, the key to an unbreakable life. Most people avoid obstacles. They see challenges as things that stop them. But you are different. You now know that obstacles are the very thing that will make you stronger, wiser, and better. Every setback is an opportunity. Every failure is a lesson. Every challenge is a stepping stone. When you truly understand this, nothing can break you. So the next time you face an obstacle, don't complain. Don't run from it. Smile and say, the obstacle is the way. Take control of your life today. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic World for more life-changing insights. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Stay strong, stay stoic, and remember, your mindset shapes your destiny.